Leader of the SNP in Blackford.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. In a matter of seconds at 12:16, an aircraft is due to depart Heathrow Airport, a Virgin Atlantic aircraft, to go to Warsaw, to pick up 50 young orphans that have left Ukraine, that are coming to spend the next period of their life in Scotland with the sanctuary that we can offer them. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone that has helped to make sure that we can offer a new start to these young people away from the war, and in particular the governments in London and in Edinburgh, and in particular to thank the Immigration Minister, the member for Tory, and the Refugee Minister in the House of Lords, Lord Harrington. This is a good day for these 50 young people, but let's hope that it's the beginning of something much more significant for many more young people that we can offer sanctuary to. Mr Speaker, this morning we have official confirmation that inflation is at its highest level in 30 years. But families don't need official confirmation to know that the cost of food and energy are now at a price they simply can't afford. The very people who have borne the brunt of the health pandemic are now being hammered by the poverty pandemic. This is not just a cost of living crisis, this is an emergency. That is why in Scotland the SNP government is doubling the Scottish child payment and raising benefits it controls by 6%, double the rate the Chancellor has proposed for the benefits he has control over. So this is a very simple question for the Prime Minister. If he truly understands that this is an emergency, will he match the Scottish Government's commitment and lift all benefits by 6%?
Prime Minister.
I thank him very much. And we all recognise the inflation, global inflation, is causing a real cost of living crisis, not just here but around the world. In the US, inflation is now running at more than 8%, we're at the levels in other European countries. We're doing everything we can to help people. The Chancellor has put another £9.1 billion into reducing the cost of energy for families. But I don't know quite what he's shouting out, Mr Speaker, but we want to do more. And Scotland, I can tell him, is in the lead in helping this country to solve its energy problems, not just with more offshore wind, Mr Speaker, but by abandoning the phobia of our own hydrocarbons, which I think are going to be vital for transition and avoid us being blackmailed by Putin's Russia. And on his point about the orphans, Mr Speaker, I'm grateful to him for his efforts. I thank him, and it's another example, if I may say, without embarrassing him further, of the burgeoning cooperation between us.
Well, of course, Mr Speaker, we want to make sure we open our doors in Scotland and welcome refugees, that we have that generosity of spirit, but we'll leave that there for now. Can I say to the Prime Minister that inflation is at 6% and increasing? We need to make sure that those the most vulnerable have that increase in benefits that they need in order to pay for fuel. And the Chancellor needs to ditch the official photographer and listen to Martin Lewis. Family finances are at breaking point. They can't tighten their budgets anymore. These families have no room for manoeuvre. But the truth is that the Chancellor does. Lower borrowing and increased taxes means that he's sitting with £20 billion to spend today. But instead, this Chancellor is making a political choice, the choice to push people further into hardship by hiking taxes, cutting universal credit and giving companies free rein to slash workers' pay through fire and rehire. So the test for the Prime Minister is this. Will the government use the full £20 billion they are sitting on to scrap the national insurance tax hike and put money into people's pockets? Or will we simply make this Tory poverty pandemic even worse?
Prime Minister.
Right, well, I just advise Mystic Meg over here that he has only 10 minutes to wait before he'll have the answer to that question, Mr Speaker.